Hello, welcome to this tutorial video. So, now we're going to look at the way you can be deployed in a classroom. There are several different types of school that you might be involved with, and your deployment within those schools usually take one of two forms. There are exceptions to these rules, but generally you're going to be deployed in the class-wide role or with a specific one-to-one student role. Now, when you're working with students in the class-wide sense, you might be involved with things like setting up an activity, leading an activity, encouraging student participation across the class. You might be checking on students' work as you're going through. The other avenue that you might be involved with is the one-to-one aspect of specific student support. So, you might be listening to that student read or giving specific one-to-one assistance. For example, you might be in a situation where you are working through specific resources or a test, or you might be devising or presenting ways of showing the work to that student in a slightly different way to the rest of the class. You'll generally be doing the same work as the rest of the class, but you might be charged with showing it to them in a different way or working with them through it at a different pace, higher or lower, depending on the needs of that individual student. A key thing to remember when you're working with the group is that you will spend less time with each student, but you will have to be more aware and able to monitor all the students you are working with at the same time. So, try and take vantage points in the room where you can see the students well. For example, if you're in a typical classroom and there is a student in the upper right of the classroom you are working with, try to make sure you don't give your back to the rest of the class. Try to ensure that you can just have a quick look up and everyone is still in your line of sight. Primarily, this is so you know who to help next, or who might be needing your assistance. But it's also really good practice for behaviour management. You don't want to have to turn around to look behind you, as this allows them a chance of mischief if they so wanted. Try to have as much awareness around the room as you can. Also, try and move around the class. Don't get into the habit of being based in one place. As a TA, you should be mobile, being in between the students and amongst them, so they become more familiar with your presence. That helps you become part of the learning environment and puts the students at ease. With one-to-one, you're going to have more time with the student and be able to get into more detail with them. The key thing to remember is that you're not going to do the work for the student. It's important to bear in mind that you're assisting the student on the journey, helping them to uncover the learning rather than doing the answering for them. To recap, we have looked at two ways that you will usually be deployed. Realistically, you'll probably have a mix and match between them throughout your career as a teaching assistant. But remember, in any situation you need to think of the best strategy for helping the students you are tasked with. Both ways of working afford great opportunities to learn, so do try, if you can, to get a mix. If you have spent a lot of time doing one-to-one, ask if you can get more whole class time as well. The one-to-one is excellent in helping you learn by working out what exactly the intricacies with the student are and how to build close relationships. But working across the class also helps you understand class dynamics a bit better, and also helps you to develop your instincts for what a wide range of students might do in different situations. I'll see you in the next tutorial video.